What's up, crazy party people? This is Art with allthumbsgaming.com once again, and today I have another match of Halo 4 for you, for your viewing pleasure. And I do quite a bit better in this match than I did in my first one. I have a little bit of a rough start, as you'll see, but I'm starting to figure this game out, and like I said in my previous video, I am thoroughly enjoying myself. But yeah, you guys are being kind of silent about this, so tell me what you think of the game. I have started to play the campaign a little bit, and I'm also enjoying that. I'm playing by myself legendary difficulty, so it's a bit of a challenge, I should say. But, you know, I'll get through it. I will survive. But yeah, just a couple of tips for you guys if you're trying to get better at Halo 4. One thing that took me a couple of games to get used to is the radar. The new indicators for the radar are enemies show up as little red diamonds, as you can see, and the elevation of the enemy is indicated by a little hash mark either above or below the red diamond. If the enemy is above you, the little hash mark is shown just above the red diamond. If they are below you on the map, then the hash mark shows up on the bottom side underneath the red diamond. So that's how that works. Just a little detail that helps you to be more situationally aware. And as you can see here, I'm basically trying to survive, not die, let my shields recharge, and make good use of the scatter shot. I'm really trying to hone and figure out what I prefer as far as the ordnance drops go. So far, I've been really going with either the saw or the shotgun or scatter shot when I have the option. I'm not huge with the sticky detonator. I'm not a huge fan yet, but that could be just because I'm not trained in the art of using it. But we'll see. I have had a couple of situations where I get something like rockets or the incineration cannon. Oh, the incineration cannon is amazing. That thing, it feels so powerful. Although it's kind of a dangerous weapon for me to use because I tend to kill myself with the splash damage that thing does, which is not a good thing, and you should avoid that at all costs. But it's still fun to use. This giant plume of red magma and fire and awesomeness. It's a pure joy to kill other people with it. In regard to grenades, I basically am using the frag grenades. I have no intention of using the brand new pulse grenades with any frequency. I've found that they're really not that helpful in killing people. They're great for defensive maneuvers, closing off, small corridors or hallways. But basically, they just prevent someone from walking to a place that you don't want them to walk. I'm still loving the BR. I do think it is much more effective at close to mid-range, and I do a lot of work with it in this particular match. So yeah, I don't really have a big reason to switch to the DMR. I was watching the MLG website, and they had a video that basically explained the stats on each of the primary weapons. And the carbine, according to their little evaluation, was extremely underpowered. It took, I think it was 12 body shots to kill someone, whereas the DMR and the BR take 5 body shots. I think that's right. If not, I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments. But yeah, the carbine was apparently very, very much the weaker of all the primary weapons. So I probably won't waste my Spartan points unlocking things like that. I did find out that you earn Spartan points by leveling up. So currently, I believe I am a level 15, and so that means that I have amassed a total of 15 Spartan points, and Spartan points are what are used to unlock new armor abilities, new weapons, and new tactical packages, and as well as grenades and secondary weapons. But apparently you should be very wise with what you choose to unlock, because it gets progressively harder to level up the higher you go. At least that's what they're saying on the interwebs. So just some little detail that you guys should be aware of as you're going through your Spartan careers and deciding what equipment you want. Here's me basically failing with the sticky detonator grenade thingy. I never could quite get the feel for it. I don't know. It's not exactly a fast weapon, so using it like a brute shot or even the pro pipe from Halo Reach didn't really seem that effective, because you have to pull the trigger twice in order to get it to detonate. But then, as you can see here, I'm just waiting for the guy to walk over my so expertly set trap, and it never happens. And apparently when you switch to the other weapon, it doesn't detonate either. So, not sure what the details on that are. I believe enemies can shoot and detonate those charges. So if that guy had seen the charge glowing on the ground there and shot it, it would have exploded. But yeah, as you can tell, I obviously chose the saw above the sticky detonator because it just wasn't doing much for me. Hopefully in the future there will be more opportunity to use it, and I will be able to do so more effectively. But for now, the saw is a pretty awesome weapon. I found that the saw is interesting at extreme close range. I've had several situations where I'll get the jump on someone, I'll pop their shields with the saw, and I'll just continue firing, and they'll be able to run up, and if I have any damage on me, to where a melee would be a single kill, they were able to get that off. So I don't know what the deal with the saw is as far as accuracy and things like that, but just be aware of that. If you are using the saw, you want to maintain a little bit of distance between you and your opponent. Here I get an assassination because I'm awesome, and it ended up costing me my life. Apparently you get a lot of points whenever you do assassinations. That's the only reason I do them. In Reach, I pretty much never did an assassination because there was no advantage to it, and I guess I'm all about efficiency. So I would just do the back smack, not do the fancy animation, which left me vulnerable. But in this one, there's a slight advantage to doing one of those trick assassinations, and that is that you get more points, apparently. So I don't know. I guess I just need to be more aware of my surroundings before I decide to go in and tear up with the assassination and not do the quick, clean, efficient backsmack assassination. But yeah, here's another situation where the weapon spawn ordnance is, oh, that was a terrible VR shot, where the indicators for the ordnance come in very handy. I have also found situations where a power weapon will spawn, and then you because you know that everyone can see that marker, you can kind of use it as a trap. So you can lie in wait and ambush someone when they come in to grab that weapon, which I guess could be done to you as well. Now here's an interesting situation where I have an ordnance drop, but I'm also carrying a rocket launcher. So instead of dropping my BR and the rocket launcher, I decide to share my ordnance drop, the saw, with a buddy of mine that I was playing with. So this was the first night we ever played, and it was a bit of an experiment, and we learned just then. You can't see it on my screen, but whenever he took that saw, it actually took a little bit for him to acquire it. There was a slight loading progress bar before he could actually take the weapon. So whenever you call in your own ordnance and take it, it's immediate, but if you call it in and then let someone else take it, they have a slight waiting period where they are completely vulnerable. So that's also something that's good to know. But yeah, that's another cool thing is I'm doing really well in this match, and so I can use my ordnance in order to help a teammate do better, which is a very cool teamwork aspect of this game that basically you didn't have in any other Halo games. I mean, obviously you could just drop a weapon and tell your friend to pick it up, or you could tell a friend that it had spawned, but you literally earn that ordnance, and then you can choose to spend it however you wish, which is very cool. And it's also cool that you can give them the innate abilities as well. Some of the ordnance drops are things like overshields or increased speed for a limited time, or there's one for that's a damage boost, so that your weapons do more damage to the enemy. And in those cases, they also drop little canisters of ordnance, so you could share those with your teammates as well. One of the downsides of that, though, is that the enemy team can also steal your ordnance. So if you were in a situation where you called in your ordnance and then immediately died, the enemy team could basically steal your ordnance and use it for themselves. Which I have not seen that happen yet, but I'm sure it will eventually. And you see I just hit the killing frenzy, which is 10 kills without a death. Pretty much tearing it up. And the match is coming to a close here in about a minute. Oh, well, there it is. That was the last kill. And we pretty much stomped those guys. So, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and be sure and like this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.